Here's how an Airbnb business actually works. If you want to grow and preserve your wealth, then you're going to need to increase your cash flow as well as increase the amount of money that you actually keep through tax write-offs. Airbnbs are a great strategy to do all of this. And I'm going to share with you my 3-part framework for how to run an Airbnb business. So let's get into it. Okay, so there are 3 parts to the system, and it's pretty simple to remember. It's locate, dominate, automate. So let's talk about the first part, locate. You are going to need to find the right location for your Airbnb, your short-term rental. I highly recommend that you stay away from overregulated cities, and here's why. It is really tough sometimes to even start a short-term rental in these locations because they restrict how many licenses they'll issue, meaning how many short-term rentals they will allow in a given location, or they may restrict how many days a short-term rental can host guests, or it just may be an unfriendly environment for short-term rentals. So stay away from those larger urban markets. Instead, second part of this is you should go to vacation markets. Now, these are places where people go on a regular basis for at least a weekend, if not longer. This is a known location that actually thrives on and relies on the income from short-term rentals and the tourists that they host. There are a couple of different kinds of vacation markets, and this is a third part of this section, which is don't pick those really popular vacation destinations. So I'm talking like Joshua Tree, Smoky Mountains, Miami, other really popular places, the beach. Why? Because you're going to have a lot of competition, and those markets are going to be a lot more expensive to get a home. So instead, you're going to want to pick lesser known vacation destinations that are still popular, that still see people, but they're not the super flashy locations. And if you want me to dig into how I specifically find those markets, I am happy to do another video. So that is the first part of the framework, which is locate. The second part of the framework is to dominate. And what you need to do is you need to understand who is your competition and what are they offering. So once you've selected your location, you can run a very simple and free search on Airbnb to identify what type of listings are available. And you're going to want to look at a few specific things. What amenities do they offer? What type of decor do they have? What do their photographs look like? Meaning, what are the specific photographs that they have? And then the fourth thing is you're going to want to look at what the guests say about that property. So you're going to want to look at least, I would say, at a minimum 10 to get a good sense. And you're going to want to find these competitors that have been there for a while. So no new listings, and you're going to want at least a handful of listings. So once you understand who your competition is, next you're going to need to understand who goes to this market, why they go there, and what sort of what does the sort of the traveler look like? Okay, so who goes there? Is this a couples destination? Do families go? Do bigger groups go? You're going to want to understand that, because that is then going to tell you what type of home that you need to be in the market for. And then you're going to want to understand, why is it that they're going? So is there something nearby that's an attraction that they can visit? Or is there some other reason? Because you're going to want to make sure that the product that you offer, the home and the amenities, is going to match the reason that people are traveling to that location. So let me give you a very quick example. Let's take the Shenandoah Valley region. So this is in like the southeastern part of the United States, like Appalachia area, and you do have a national park there, and you've got tons of hiking trails. And there is a pretty big market of couples that go to that area, as well as groups. And the reason they're going is to visit the national park and go on hikes. Well, those type of people are adventurous and outdoorsy. They probably have pets. So you're going to want your home to be able to provide the amenities that match that customer profile. So hopefully that's really clear. Now, once you understand your competition, you understand your traveler, now you're going to want to kind of have the two meet in between by doing a gap analysis. So based on what your traveler wants, is looking for in that area, and here's a quick tip on how you can do that. Read your competitors' reviews. You're going to want to understand what they liked about the stay, what they didn't like about the stay. And you're going to focus on what they didn't like, because those are going to be the opportunities for you to fill the gap. So identify what is missing in that market, and then you're going to have to think through how your home, your listing can provide those things. How can your amenities provide a better experience for your guests? How can your location be better? Again, looking at those reviews, what are they saying that is missing and that they want? And then how can you provide that? So that is how you can dominate the market. The third part of the framework of, how it is you run an Airbnb business is to automate. There is 3 things that you are going to have to automate. The first has to do with your guests. So your guests are going to need to be communicated with when they book, before they check in, checking in on their stay, and then how they check out. And then based on whether or not they've automatically given you a review, a reminder for a review. And I do have, I think, at least one video breaking down my automated messaging system. But that's not the extent of the communication, but that is at least the automated part of it. So you'll set this up in whatever property management software system you purchase. I really love Hospitable, not getting paid to say this, but they just simply are the best. So that means your system is just going to communicate automatically on the times that you set, and you don't have to think about it. You know that your guests are covered. They have the information that they need to arrive and have a comfortable stay. The next part of automation is going to have to do with your cleaner. So your cleaner is going to have to know when there are new bookings, what the check-in and check-out dates are, and then reminders of the days when your cleaner is going to have to go in and perform the clean. That is also something that you can automate within the same property management software system that you choose. And then one quick tip that I will give you here is to set all of those up via text message, not email, because nowadays everyone has their phone on them at all times. And I don't know about you, but I am much more likely to get a text message much faster than I am an email, because I'm just not checking my email very often. So you'll want to set up that automated messaging to SMS. Now, the third thing that you're going to want to automate is going to be your maintenance. And there's really 2 parts to this. The first part are your supplies. So there are going to be some consumable supplies that you will provide that are just going to run out. For example, toilet paper. And you are going to need a system to know when you need to order more, then to order it, and then to just keep track of it. In an upcoming course that I'm going to be launching soon, I have an inventory tracking sheet that works really, really well for me. But your cleaner is going to be the key part of this system, because they will actually be keeping track for you, and you can then just do the ordering. So your consumable supplies is one system that you're going to have to have a system to automate. The second part is going to be the maintenance system. So making sure that your home is properly maintained and anything that needs fixing gets repaired on a timely basis. So there's a couple different ways that you can do this. What I recommend is, to the extent possible, that you, as the owner of the home and the host, do it, and you just have a schedule for it. I do it on a monthly basis. I go through and just check the quality of the home. Is there any chip paint? Does my HVAC filter need cleaning? Is there anything, basically just you're really looking for things that need to be upkept. And, if you don't live close by, but you still want to do it yourself, you can do this on a quarterly basis. Or the other way that you can do this is you can hire it out. I don't recommend having your cleaner do this, and here's why. I think cleaners are best when they do one job, which is cleaning, and the tasks that have to do specifically with cleaning, and supplies is one of those, right? Because they can't clean the home if they don't have the supplies they need. So that's sort of within their sphere. And so it makes sense to have them do the inventory of supplies. It doesn't make sense to have them do the property maintenance, because that's a completely different set of tasks than a turn in between guests. So I would recommend hiring this out. And if you are going to hire it out, I would recommend doing that like on a quarterly basis. You can find a local handyman or someone else, but you'll want to have a checklist for them of items that they are going to be looking at to ensure the quality of them. So they're going to want to check the HVAC filters, for example. They're going to want to see if there are any leaks underneath the faucets, making sure that there are no cracks around the building where bugs are getting in, things like that. So that's something that can be performed probably in about 2 hours every quarter, and you should be fine. So it shouldn't be something that's too expensive, and this is something you can probably hire out via like TaskRabbit or another marketplace like that. So that is the 3-part system: locate, dominate, automate. And when you get all of these in place, you are going to have a cash flow engine that serves as a wonderful tax write-off that really takes no time at all to manage. I own a handful of Airbnbs, and it takes me about an hour a week on average to manage this. So I am able to have a full-time, very demanding job in addition to this and produce content, and I don't feel overwhelmed, and I live a happy and balanced life. So it is absolutely doable. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.